Well, hello there. You're watching OBBM Live, and it's actually able to go live these days. Thank you so much, Larry Courtcamp and Maria Scarmarta, for the information you share about how to be smarter with your internet. We are able to co-work in this environment now and actually use the things that we intended to use. I'm talking with John Chester today. I'm so excited to share with you some of the cool things that he's doing with his business and with his outreach in this community. What an honor to have you, John, on OBBM Live.
Thank you for your time. I know you are one crazy, busy broad. Oh my gosh. Do you sleep? I mean, is there do you see the inside of your eyelids ever? You're just nuts.
You know, a little known secret, Susan sleeps very well, and I go to bed early. I'm an early person, so I get up way early. I'm a crazy morning person, and I go to bed early, and I play hard. I play as hard as I work. And that is, there's a lot that helps me stay balanced that way and keep me posted. And I listen to really great advice from professionals such as yourself that I surround myself with, so that I know how to think. Because, you know, in today's world, if we don't know how to think, how on earth do we draw the right conclusions, and how do we move through crisis?
Yeah, we're in some kind of mess right now, but this is a passing thing.
Yes.
So we can't park. We can't make this the new normal. I hear that nonsense a lot from people. No, it's not the new normal.
Thank you.
And the new normal is not what's about to come upon us when this passes. The new normal is what we decide to make it. Okay, so I'm not much for listening to a lot of people go on and on about, well, this is how you're going to have to adjust. No, I'm not really adjusting. These are things that I've been doing anyway. I just have more time and space to do them. So that's a lot of what's going on.
Well, and more so because you have been talking for years about the power of a positive playlist. And when you brought your podcast to the OBBM network and gave us the honor of producing this fabulous show, I've been able to hear your guests and hear your thought processes about what on earth you're coming up with here. And it's something inside of positive people. We do understand that we can alter what seems to be a fact in our life by the way we think. There's a lot of strength and a lot of power in that. But you are taking it a step further, and you're going, you know what? Let me show you how. You don't even know what you've been programming yourself with through your own entertainment. And what if you look at that differently? Geez, this whole playlist concept is really, really wise.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, and it's something from a lot of experience, having worked in psych for over 26 years. I had this reoccurring issue that would show up because I was a music therapist, and I'd go in and do groups, and people were asking me to play this song and this song, or they wanted to hear this. I'd be bringing the radio or an MP3 player, and they always wanted to hear, and most of the time there were these really downer songs or very angry songs. And though there's a lot of research that's been coming out lately that says people who listen to some sad songs really manage things better because they're in touch with, you know, a deeper nature of themselves. You remember that Pixar movie, Inside Out? I love that film.
Yeah.
And it talks about, you know, there's several different emotions that are running the brain of this young girl. And happiness, her name is Joy, and she's, oh, everything's just got to be great. And unfortunately, sadness, this other character, influences the girl in a way that at first is painted as negative, but then by the end of the film we see that it has to be this balance between joy and sadness. And music is like that. Music has this emotional resonance that is created by the artist, as well as the by the artist as well, the people who market it. You know, you have a person like Roger Waters, again picking on this guy, who creates The Wall, and he was using it for catharsis, just to get his emotions out. However, marketing was using it to help people, well, not help, but to speak to people who were having the same issues, and they were using it to just perpetuate a behavior. And that was
well, see, I think that's a key that I've never really thought about. Now, I understand that there's a lot of manipulation in the airwaves, because I get that. I get it. but I didn't understand how I perpetuate it, right? Because I believe that I can listen to whatever I want to listen to and I decide how I feel about it. Well,
I,
there's a maturity to that, to an emotional maturity that I certainly didn't have as a younger girl. You don't know all the time. And I have to say, I'm not sure that's true. Ever since I've started listening to the stuff you're talking about, I think there are some things probably on the subconscious level of what we listen to. And as you've pointed out before, it's more than just the song you're familiar with. It's the tempo, it's the melody, it's the harmony, it's all these different pieces. And I was
right.
speaking with Heather Lynn Darby not long ago, and she was talking about that vagus nerve, and I hear you talk about that. And there's some truth to how you sing, how you harmonize, what you are applying yourself to in this music that can have an effect on you as well.
Yeah, for people who are active singers, for example, the vagus nerve helps. It's like a muscle, an emotional muscle, and it can help with that type of resonance. And I use that word a lot, but that help raise the frequency and get your brain on a different type of level than maybe you want to be, than where you should be, bringing you up to where you want to be. And it has that capacity. And listening to certain types of music that has certain frequencies, certain constructions to it, again, like you already mentioned with keys and tempos, harmonies, chord progressions, how the song is marketed. And these things affect how we listen to it. And all this affects these nerves.
Yeah, I figure part of the reasons I'm such a positive person is because I grew up with John Denver. And I know all the words to every John Denver song. My sister Sherry and I used to sing that stuff all the time. And it's far out, man.
Almost heaven, West Virginia. You know that, yeah, everybody.
Uh-huh.
I played that song. If I had a nickel for every time if I got the rights, and I just had a nickel,
Right?
yeah, I
We'd
could
go
just go
crazy
lay
at
down.
that. But so you know a thing or two about my playlist because I've talked with you now about it a couple of different times. But you are about to launch a couple really cool things that I'm excited to share with our audience today about your show. Number one, the types of guests you got coming on are going to have everybody singing and everybody harmonizing in a very different way. And I imagine when you get the barbershop quartet, if you when I imagine we're all working at home, your kids are going to be here to listen to this might be really fun to see how all the different voices come together because everybody wants to sing along to that stuff.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's true. Some of my guests, I've got the director from Vocal Majority that's I'm working to get. I have a very good friend of mine way back from college, and he's a longtime member of Vocal Majority, and he offered to bring him on. So, and that talks about, speaking of the vagus nerve, speaking of live performances, because when you hear music in a live performance, it's different than a playback. So you hear this live performance, there's things called overtones that impact
Mm.
the body hormonally, uh, and it makes the body change in its very existence because hormones get into the system, help with pain, help with
Mhm.
anxiety, and all these various things, all from, again, a live performance. And they're even seeing something I've been listening to for the past few months. They're using live music in a lower frequency, as low as 40 hertz, to help with Alzheimer's.
Interesting. I love that. I love that. I wonder if Micah's doing any of that over there. That might be interesting over at Silverado. I know they're doing some fabulous stuff. So you've got a
Yes,
couple
they
cool
are.
guests. You've got another guest coming. You said you had three.
I have
So
a woman who's doing yoga, and she uses music. Her name is Linda Kyler, and she's going to be we're going to be talking about how she uses the music when she's doing yoga and she does it in psych hospitals and in head trauma clinics. So it's not just a matter of just having people who come in. She goes into where they are and helps the healing there.
well, that's so
Another woman
exciting.
who's agreed is a woman named Michelle Gertis. Had to talk to my production assistant over here, known as my wife. And Michelle Gertis is a spiritual mentor of mine. She is what they call an oiler, but she also is a very intuitive woman who uses music and vibrations, uh, people's resonance and frequencies to get them healed from past issues and gets them on better tracks than where they are.
And that's huge. And anybody that thinks that that's a new age concept needs to go back through John's. He posted something this weekend of this very interesting instrument that is actually played with nothing more than a hands doing this. That there is energy in us and around us. We're made like that, and if we understand it, we can. Our bodies are made to heal themselves, and that's a very powerful place to be. I love that. So, and an oiler means that those are essential oils. If you don't have an oiler, then you'll have an opportunity to meet this person and understand that a little bit better. Well, that's exciting, John. And as wild as that is, and as great as that is, and how we're going to be able to get these in front of you is awesome, because all of our other systems are in place. So you're going to be able to get this through the Offbeat Business app and through all of our social media and email and all of our traditional methods. However, there's something else we're going to be offering you coming right up. It's called
But wait, there's more.
Can I tell them, or are you going to tell them?
Please go right ahead.
Oh my gosh, building.
This is it, folks. This is the launch. Y'all are at pre-launch moment. Here we go.
Because building the perfect playlist is now something that he will work with you one-on-one to accomplish. Now, look, there's all these pieces that have to come together. It's not the same thing as what you enjoy hanging out by the pool. That's great. And there's a place for that. But there's also a way of thinking about your life that says, I'm going to put this music into me. I'm going to listen to this kind of music because it's going to move me here. Now, some people get that when it comes to the screamo when they're working out with weights, right, Clint, right? There's sometimes you want that. But what about the other things in your life you want to achieve, right? Sometimes it's, how do you want to have how do you want to handle your relationships? How do you want to handle when you're getting ready before you talk to a client? Do you want to have that mental clarity? When you set up your playlist properly, friends, this is awesome, because people are dealing with depression on a regular basis and ignoring it, anxiety on a regular basis and ignoring it. Addiction is rampant. We don't know why there's these pulls here and there. What if someone could work with you, someone meaning like John Chester, what if he just worked with you and helped you see what you're already listening to and how you might build something that's really perfect for the trajectory you want in your personal and professional development? Doesn't that sound fabulous?
Yeah, it is. It is great. It is a lot of fun. I've been doing this for years for individual clients, and I've been doing it in groups. And it's time to move forward with this. Now that I've got this all, the blocks in place, it's time to now take this to a new level.
So we're excited that when you start paying attention to the OBA member directory, more than you ever have. We've got some new members in there that are doing some fantastic stuff, and I'm teaching our members how to use it more effectively. Anybody growing a company knows that you got to have your focus here, and then come back and here, and do it again. Yeah. And retrain and retool so that we can get this information out. So pay attention to those, because you're going to be able to get this right from his membership profile from Ivor Chester. That's John Ivor Chester. So we're squaring that away. He's John.
I'm
and
John.
He's Ivor. He answers to both. Yeah. So if anybody wants to reach out to you and get involved in any of the sponsoring of these programs, your upcoming programs, how do they reach you? What's your phone number?
Phone number is 214-606-8625.
All right, so you got it here. We will share this information, and we're excited to be bringing all the cool stuff that Chester Squared is already doing in the marketplace to show people there's some success out there. We just need it. We can have some peace in our families. Man, go for that. Go for the gusto. You got this opportunity to be home right now. You can have all of this stuff lined up where you're ready to just jump out the gate when this is when you're like pulling a rubber band, pulling a bow back. It can feel a lot like you're going backwards, when in fact, if you don't take those moments to allow that tension to work, you're not going to be able to go as far as you want. But man, the sky's the limit if you really are willing to work with that tension and work within it to turn it into something wonderful.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.